4 years ago, I witnessed death in my arms and saw somebody fighting for her last breath. I went on a dive with my girlfriend, Debbie van der Woude, 22 years old. We went too deep for too long, too irresponsible. After an emergency ascent, I saw her bloodshot eyes, her pale face, and her blue lips, and I knew life was over as we knew it. A couple of hours later, Debbie passed away in the hospital by a lung embolism. Another 24 hours later, I lay paralyzed in the hospital in Bonaire from my waist down. As the neurologist came to me and said, "Son, you might not ever walk again," something took over. I had changed. Something had happened in the water. And before I could think, my mouth said, "You don't know what I'm capable of." And a new fight had begun. I still had to conquer all the trauma that had happened. Debbie passed away, and I could have saved her, but didn't, no matter how hard I fought. During physical therapy sessions, it soon became clear to me I wasn't doing this just for me. If I was gonna live, I had to live for the both of us, and not just for Andy. 8 months of therapy, and I had to learn to walk again, to live again, learn to breathe again. And after 8 months, they sent me home. I lived with my parents in the middle of nowhere in a beautiful nature area. But I was there alone while my parents were at work and had the time to be faced with my demons. And so they did. The questions that kept coming back were, had I loved enough? Had I given enough? Had I mattered at all? Did I really give it my all? Could I have saved her? I knew the answers to it all, and I knew my responsibility was acceptance. But what am I going to do? I crashed on the bathroom floor and cried till there were no more tears left. I had her life slip through my fingers. I picked myself up from that floor. I made her a promise to live for her. And down there, I couldn't achieve anything. So I stood up and made the promise that I would never, ever fall again. What if I would take responsibility for my own actions? What if I would manage to sail my ship the way it was meant to sail? It wasn't that easy, though. Finding a job, finding a life again, dealing with the physical pain, and dealing with the mental trauma. I had one guardian angel, though, my physical therapist, Miriam. She would really push my buttons, and with buttons, I mean really, really push them. You can't keep going like this. You have to fight. You have to let go. But I was losing hope. During my transportation from physical therapy to home and back again, a lot of ideas came, a lot of time to think came. And one day, something magical happened. Laying down on the therapy mat at physical therapy, there was this elderly lady, Mrs. Granville. She was adjusting her prosthesis in her wheelchair when a physical therapist approached her to help her, and she brushed the young man off. I might be incomplete, but I can still function. The room went quiet. It was like she was talking to me. Everybody deserves a second chance at life, no matter what, no matter how. And that's what was created in my head at that point. Second Life Curaçao. I'm going to create a second life for everybody. But wait. I had a small issue. I was lacking the funds. I only had 160 guilders every 2 weeks. That's a whopping $80. I'm going to help myself if I can't help others. As an old dive, bike, and hiking guide, it soon became clear to me. Our nature needs help. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use things from nature that we're throwing away. I'm going to use things that are growing naturally. Sustainability explained, it's very simple. The environment needed help, the society needed help, our economy needed help. I didn't have any economy, so I would take the environment, create an economy out of that, so I could use the society, or help the society. And with that, create a circle. Little by little, I managed to build a small business. Second Life Curaçao Recycled Art was born, my art. My first two suppliers were my mom's garbage bin, really, and my dad's yard. I used stones, cans, lots of cans. Cans were being thrown away daily by everybody, and they can't be recycled properly. So from my Social Security pay of an $80, I managed to make it $160 just by using crap and turn it into craft. It's more than an idea, it's creating a social consciousness, because it's not just for me. As you can see, I can stand by myself, I'm strong enough. But there are tons of people out there that are left behind. My idea is to help them create a future for themselves, to help them to create a business that they can work from their own homes. The first few people I introduced my idea to, respectable people, consultants, high-paying consultants, were asking me, what are a few handicapped people going to do? And that's awoken the pirate in me. I'm good at rebelling at injustice, so that's what I did. I built a social media following that was good enough to start selling my craft all around the world. I got orders from Australia, America, Austria. And little by little, I even stood on the cover of a magazine, opened a show of a pop star that you just seen, and won a prize, Aspiring Creative Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Don't blame me, I didn't come up with that name. Social entrepreneurs, I didn't even know what that name meant. I had to look it up after winning the prize. Social entrepreneurs drive social innovations, and we are growing our economy. It's a very simple business, but a lot of us don't believe in the idea for the simple reason we were taught that the economy is the most important thing and not the people that grow the economy. If you want to be sustainable, you've got to start with the people. The community brings innovation, they grow an economy, and they create a society. What if we raise the standards of our society? We would grow our economy, we would save our environment, and we would create a sustainable society. It's not just about some cans. Right now, I'm building a whole educational system, how we can grow the future youth that's coming up, that they can learn that it's not just about a study, not just about the money that you stick in your pocket, but about possibilities that you can create out of something somebody else might throw away. There are tons of examples of social enterprise that are over 100 years old. It's just now that it seems to become the cool thing to do. Suddenly, people are starting to realize that we need to think more in a sustainable way. But it's very simple. You are all puzzle pieces in this. What you do matters. Every little thing that you throw away or that you give away creates something new. Or it's creating waste, or it's creating an opportunity. You can choose what you want to be part of. I still live with my parents at home in the middle of nowhere where I conquered my demons. I'm still a small-time player. I can barely make ends meet at the end of the month. But yet here I stand in front of you. That's what one cripple can do. Can you imagine what happens when we work together? I wasn't completely finished yet, thank you. I prefer to live in the middle of nowhere where I can teach somebody else to fill their lives and give it value. I'm taking responsibility that way for my actions. And I'm standing here to ask you to take yours.